The Antikythera mechanism is an ancient Greek hand-power orrery described as the oldest known example of an analog computer used to predict astronomical positions and eclipses decades in advance. Now take a good look at it, how it's made, right? You have, it looks like a short version of a cross. Now just get this symbol in your brain. They said it's from ancient Greek, 2nd century BC. Okay, so apparently this mechanism had 37 meshing bronze gears, enabling it to follow the movements of the moon and the sun through the zodiac to predict eclipses and to model the irregular orbit of the moon. I'm gonna stop right there. Now remember, Anaxagoras spoke of a time before the moon actually existed, right? Apollonius spoke of a time before the celestials and the stars existed. So with this information, one could make the logical assumption that the sun was the only thing that was making this orbit. And with the moon, at least with my perception of the moon being a satellite, a artificial intelligence satellite, it was put here so that it could monitor the inhabitants of the simulation. So let's go to this black sun. Now, the Vril Society and those boys from Germany spoke of the black sun. Now, if you look here at the symbol of the black sun, you can see in the middle, it has a black sun. And on the outside, it has like 12, you can call it sun rays. Now, those 12 sun rays represent the 12 houses, right, of the natal chart, the 12 signs of the zodiac. And as we know it today, our clocks go from 1 to 12. So this is what I've been referring to in other videos. If you take the clock, the natal chart, right, and you put it over a map, this is what it would look like. You have the celestials in the sky, and you have the sun in its rotation that's illuminating the celestials above it. And whatever the sun is illuminating, whatever aspect is taking place, is what's going to be happening below, because as above, so below. And each location on the map represents a house. So countries represent certain houses, right? So since it's as above, so below, wherever the sun is in this rotation will dictate what we see on our clocks below. Astrology literally runs the world. This is why when you have certain luminary energies in certain houses, you have things that take place on the grand stage of the simulation. And of course, in another lecture, we read from this book, Heaven and Earth, the Solid Vault of Heaven, from Gabrielle Henriette, when she spoke of the firmament. And when you have like certain planetary energies in certain houses, you have things that happen, like comets will come from the firmament. You see, the more that I study and research ancient civilizations, the more that I see that the one thing that they had in common amongst other things is that they all used the celestials above as their clock. And they transferred that to like something as simple as a sundial just to track the rotation of the sun. You see, these ancient civilizations, they leave these symbolic relics behind from their journeys. And, you know, some people will see this and interpret this as a calendar, but when I see it, I think of it as a map. And for me, the center, that circle represents the sun, and the outside, the yellow ring, that could represent like their version of the zodiac. And then you have like the large arrows, the north, east, south, and west. And that center represents what some people would find in photos from these high altitude vehicles. When they take a photo of the center of this flat earth plane, they see that it has a giant hole. And that giant hole is the Rubus Nigra, that black rock where the waters gathered. In another video, I spoke of this black hole that scientists are saying is at our center. Well, this black hole is there. Well, it would just be the entrance into another plane of existence. Every old map, every old celestial like clock will show you the same thing. Tracking the movements of the celestials, but leaving that giant hole in the center. These relics are telling a story. Now you see right above the center of this plane, you have Polaris, the North Star. And as you can see, the spring, the winter, the fall, the summer, you have this tracking the movements, right? Now, occult societies who know this, they would often put this in their symbols. But it all points to the center and the sun. But the center is stationed around Polaris. but below the black sun in the center. So many others have found the truth because they sought after it daily. And those who have found the truth found ways to connect with it, right? Connect with that powerful electromagnetic field, like growing out your antenna, your hair. And with that comes knowledge, with that comes wisdom, with that comes unlocking your DNA and remembering the secrets of how to evolve consciously and spiritually. With that also comes wisdom of how to utilize this electromagnetic field to gain things like free energy and these vehicles that bend what we know as space and time. And space is just a period of time. There are some that would like for this truth to be hidden. And of course, there are others that have shown you the light. In order to play the game, you have to know how to use the controller. You have to see the light of the world here first, to understand the light illuminating the world up there.
5D Mystery School.